I'm really glad you touched on the concept of playing for hours and hours and hours on end. I don't think people appreciate, in poker, you're playing for 10, 15, 20 hours. And when people come to investing, they want the same thing. They want to win the big pot with the first hand. But as it relates to poker and as it relates to investing, do you think that there are more similarities as it relates to long-term playing the game for the long run in poker and investing for the long run? Because you talk about exponential growth, you talk about compounding. What advice would you give to investors who are so focused on the short run that they drain all of their energy and focus in the short run without taking the long term into account? What's your advice for them?
I mean, I would say that the most important thing when you make an investment decision is to understand what's the expected value and what's the kind of like the duration for how long you need to put your money in to achieve the expected value. And like, there is probably going to be nothing that you have an expected value of 100 times, right? So if you keep going for that big 100 times thing, like it will happen at some point, and it's probably going to be a combination of luck versus like timing, but you can't really control that. All you can control is like how do you put yourself into favorable spots and play an iterated game with that. So like, and what I mean by playing an iterated game in this situation is like making better decisions. You invest in a stock, and that's the first game that you're playing. But then like, what do you do after? Do you kind of sell that stock and buy something else? Do you buy into a fund? What do you do? Like, and the more you can put yourself into positions where you're making that plus EV bets and you're iterating over time, improving and having more samples of that, like, yeah, the better it is for you. The poker equivalent would be like, if I find a player who's willing to play with me and he's worse than me, how do I put myself in a situation where I can play with him multiple times over the years instead of just like trying to win everything once? I mean, the guy is not going to lose to me 10 million in one day, for example. Like if we play today, like, and I beat you, you're not going to like lose 10 million to me. Like, like why would you do that? But like, if it's over a period of time and every day I'm winning $10,000 from you, maybe it's possible. Like, so like, how do you kind of put yourself into those kind of situations?